Awesome.
We're gonna roll right into questions. Our first question is going to come from Woody Kane. Go ahead with your question, Woody.
Hey, Austin. Just wanted to look ahead 1 week. You got a kind of a wild card situation this week, but another one next week at the Roval. And I was curious about what you think of the differences are between a Roval style road course and a more purpose-built road course in terms of how you drive them and attack them.
Well, I think, there's some subtle differences. Obviously, the Roval, a little more technical, and the aspect of tighter corners, got to slow down more, and then you got some big sweepers that are regular corners on the racetrack in 3 and 4, and it's just kind of rough because it wasn't really originally built as a road course, and some of the transitions are harsh. Some of the road courses that we go, they're built road courses, are just probably smoother transitions, not as rough, if anything.
Thank you.
Yeah. Our next question will come from Bob Pockers. Go ahead with the question, Bob.
Yeah, Austin, the announcement this morning of HMS and Childress working together on one engine, how much of an immediate impact, or when do you think you'll see that impact?
Well, I think it's really special. I think especially for our R&D program, as far as just the future goes, I feel like those two organizations, the power between them kind of speaks for itself. And joining them for the success of all of us is going to be huge. I feel like just the two organizations coming together to compete and to make Chevrolet better than what we've even been this year. So I'm pumped and really proud to kind of be finally connecting with Hendrick in a deeper relationship with RCR. I think it's great for both organizations and all the Chevys, really.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Claire B. Lang. Go ahead with your question, Claire.
Thank you. Can you talk about the schedule that was released yesterday? What excites you about it for 2021? Anything surprise you? A reaction from a driver such as yourself who will be racing for many years to come?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting for our sport. I love that we change it up. I think not all sports are fluid like we are. We're able to move and change directions pretty quick, and I think that's a testament to the sanctioning body, to the owners, to the drivers, everybody in the sport, that it's cool to try different things, and it's really all about our fans. And I think adding all the different racetracks that we have, and then also going to different markets is huge for us. So, obviously the first thing that pops into my mind is the Bristol Dirt Race because of my dirt background. There's a couple more road races that are being added. So I got to sharpen my skills more, probably do the 24-hour race, try and get in a car there, and just get more road course racing experience before we go into the 22. But 21. So I'm pumped in general as far as just getting to try new tracks. And in Nashville, when it was announced earlier this year, I'd won a truck race, the last one there. So I'm pumped, and I think the 750 packages at Darlington being a slick track plays into our history there at Darlington. We've been good, and being lower downforce, more power should be a good thing for me. So I'm excited about the schedule.
What's your mojo going into Talladega? You have one top 5. We start 12th at Talladega. And I'm wondering, like, when you roll off, what's on your mind? Is this a racetrack that excites a young guy like you? You never know what's going to happen. Each story of each race is so different. But what's on your mind this year as you roll off?
Just winning. Vegas, we had a race going that we felt like we needed to have. And obviously we had a failure, and that kind of crushed our points dream going into Talladega and how we would approach it. But the positive light in that is it's a lot easier to go into Talladega with one thing in mind and not worrying about points. I'm not really worried about points. I think we need to go win the race to transfer to the next round and try and create our own destiny that way. So for me, it's throwing caution to the wind, and obviously you got to get to the end of those things to win. But a lot of these guys that have been successful at speedway racing have also led a bunch of laps and put themselves in situations to do that. So for me, from lap 1, I'm racing and doing what I can to be aggressive and keep track position to show everybody around us that we're there and we have fast cars. So work with us. And, just kind of prove a point from the beginning of the race on that we're going to be a contender at Talladega. So a little different approach than we would have probably approached it, with a little bit of a points gap, trying to play out and see how things would go in each stage and go from there. But the way we are sitting now, I think we need to win both stages and try and win the race.
Sounds like it'll be fun to watch and listen to if you're going to do that, and appreciate your time. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Jordan Bianchi. Go ahead with your question, Jordan.
Austin, a couple questions for you. Kind of following up on Bob's question about the engines. RCR and Hendrick are still going to have kind of separate engine development, so to speak. Would you have liked to seen Chevy kind of have one singular engine shop like Ford has and Toyota has?
Well, I think the R&D part of it is the key. That's where the horsepower comes from, is the research and development. And as long as each one are putting them together the same, it's not much difference there, I don't feel. And as long as the power is big, is what we all want. I think everybody from Hendrick and RCR would agree that we want to have the best engines on the track, and we are Chevrolet, really. I don't think there's another Chevy engine builder out there other than RCR and Hendrick that I know of, and excuse me if I'm wrong on that, but so I feel like we are the engine builders for Chevrolet, and the two of us combined is just going to bring more power to the track. More great minds to think of ways to make this work.
The second question is kind of following up on Claire's question about the schedule and looking ahead. Is there anything you'd like to see with NASCAR do more of in terms of the schedule and how they craft it?
Oh, man. That's a hard one. I think that's a hard position to be in, because you try and play to everybody's asks and wants as schedule goes. So I'd hate to be the guy trying to make it all work. For me, I think they do a good job of changing it up each year. I think they should continue to change it up and try new places. And I like a rotating schedule of new tracks each and every year. I think that would be cool.
Thank you.
And our final question for Austin will come from Steven Toronto. Go ahead with your question, Steven.
Austin, this weekend is the 20th anniversary of the 2000 Winston 500, which was Dale Earnhardt's final victory in the Cup Series. Can you reflect on the legacy of that race, particularly how it reverberates within RCR? And did you watch that race growing up, or did you ever go back and rewatch it?
Yeah, I've seen it a bunch. The replays that are on TV all the time, and just it was a spectacular race to see him come from the back to the front and make the moves he made. He was known for a speedway racer and the things that he could do in the draft, and he could see the air. So I think that was amazing. Obviously there's a lot of history there, and I believe that's 20 years ago. I think that would be fitting for us to go win at Talladega and lock ourselves in the next round of the playoffs. 20 years, I think it was 20 years apart when we won the 500 too. So someone told me that. And, things are lining up. Try and make it happen.
That's a great thought. Thanks, Austin.
Thanks.
Well, Austin, thank you for taking the time to join us. Now, good luck this weekend at Talladega Superspeedway.
Thanks, guys.